Good. So I'll make this rather short given time has progressed, but I will try to summarize what we heard today. Thank you very much, dear clients, dear partners, friends, and colleagues for joining today. First, we have heard Professor Dr. Thorsten Polleit. He was talking about tax cuts in the US, that this should create 1.2 million additional jobs. He has been talking about the Trump, which is pro-business as a positive. He's talked about fiat money and the effect in Japan. Has looked at the collapse of the real estate market and the stock market in Japan afterwards, and implied that the future is going to look a little bit like Japan for us as well. He talked about the European banking balance sheet being 300% of GDP and had some thoughts how that might decrease through inflation and other means. Then we had Justin Arbuckle, who joined the management team of Leonteq lately. He has been talking about software, how that might change the dynamics in many sectors, and he's changing it. He also talked about great businesses being oriented towards service and advice, and not just a product in itself, and how they democratize access to resources like Leonteq to structure products. And he also talked about expertise, which is being turned into software. Afterwards, we had Anders Rasmussen and Julius van der Laar. Julius has been saying the US vote was not a vote for Trump, it was a vote against Clinton. Rasmussen was kind of critical that on the counterterrorism, he thinks he has done enough opposed to what Trump has been saying. And there was discussions about the relations to Russia and Putin as a partner and how much they can be trusted. And the funny situation of free trade being criticized more in the US than in China, while one would probably expect the opposite. There was also at the end a discussion about the Democrats which boycott the election now. That's not being constructive, and they looked into the future a bit more positively. But with a note of Rasmussen that Russia might influence the European elections, and this might have actually negative effects. Then we had Eric Bart summarizing some of our products, which I'm not going to go through with you now again, and the ideas. And last but not least, Professor Dr. Aimo Brunetti, thanks for coming. You have been talking about the dynamics of saving and investments, potential secular stagnation, that negative saving, investments, and growth have a negative effect on rates. And you explained that the extreme monetary policy, which we have seen, was the right one to avoid the Great Depression, which otherwise would have come. You have shown the amount of liquidity which was introduced into the banking system as M0, and you talked about the normalization process, how that might work, and the difficulty about the right point in time to get there. And at the end, you have become a bit more positive, talking about Industry 4.0, and that might have a positive impact on productivity and investments, and therefore on rising rates. So this to the day. Thank you very much to all of the speakers for contributing to this interesting day. Talking about Leonteq shortly, and as Birin has been pointing out, we're going to talk on the 9th a bit more. The last 10 years, if I look back, have been many times challenging, but also particularly challenging, as you know, in the last 6 months. But I am, and I think we all are, proud of what we've built in the last 10 years. And there's not that many companies which also survive 10 years. In terms of the future, we plan to continue to shape the structured product market, shape it in a sense, like Justin said, to turn expertise, of which we have a lot in the company, into software, which is going to value add to you guys out there investing into the market. We have gone through the strategic analysis, as you know, and I believe that with the new management team and with our strategy going forward, we are well positioned for further growth in the next years to come. And we have a 2020 plan, which we are going to execute. So with that, I thank you all, not only the speakers, but also you as clients, partners, colleagues, and friends, for the interest in the day, for the interest in Leonteq, for the trust and the support. And last but not least, I also thank our host, Ellen Frauenknecht, who has led us through the day. And of course, as always, the flowers for you. Thank
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön.
Gerne.
Danke.
And I invite you, everybody, now to the apero. I'll be outside, and hopefully we have some further interesting discussions. Thank you for coming, and have a good evening.